let me put you onto a secret. I love indie TTRPGs because they are so amazing with awesome and fresh concepts and ideas being released all the time. And you can even use indie RPGs to explore different topics, themes, dice mechanics, and especially use them to jump your own campaign. Plus, indie RPGs provide a fresh way to explore fine and awesome RPGs, wacky RPGs, creative RPGs, and even plain text RPGs. So, I might be a bit of a fan of them. So, when I learned there was a One Page RPG Jam in 2023, I, your average everyday queer host, knew I needed to talk about this. So, today, I'll be discussing my personal favorite RPGs I found in 2023's One Page RPG Jam. But before I can dive into my personal list, I need to explain what is this One Page RPG Jam. This is a game jam, specifically for new one-page tabletop role-playing games. That means the entire system and setting needs to be on one single sheet of paper. And as the page states, restrictions breed creativity. The only limit is the imagination of the designers and the players. And this game jam has a lot of games, over 417 as of August 28th, 2023. So obviously, I as one singular person cannot cover every single game, and quite frankly, I wasn't interested in every single game. So instead, I'll be discussing my personal favorites and why I enjoyed them. And some other things to note. I didn't select anything of AI since I personally dislike AI art or AI tools being used in my games. Secondly, I've not fully ran many of these games, so this isn't a big deep dive on any of these individual RPGs, but an overview. And finally, if you want to check out any of the creators or any of the RPGs, you can check the description box not only for the links, but also to skip around the video if you want to. And without further ado, let's get right into the first RPG. This game is for the D&D 5e veterans. We often in these games play high heroic fantasies, where the characters are larger than life. But what if you played the character or adventurer who died early in your campaign? What if you played the character who never succeeded or who got left behind, or the character that died in the first session? What if you played the character who never got to succeed? The character who is ruined and left dead in a dungeon? Then, Ruined is the game for you. In Ruined, you play as an adventurer who died without fame, whose soul was sent back to show its worth. You, now as a ruined, wandered this land for opportunities to prove yourself, lest become forgotten. The creator, Luva SGG, has had their inspiration taken from Karen and Nave, to name a few. And here's some mechanics I think are really cool about this game. The first resource is Ruin. It is a souvenir of your death. Whenever you die, roll a 1d6. If it is lower than your ruins, you are gone and forgotten. And after your death, you come back in 1d10 minutes. Ruins reflect the way you died, a memento event, a crucial part to the character. Next, you have a mount, a companion that travels with you. Also, you have your craft. This is your background. Think of, well, some of the examples are here: thief, hunter, blacksmith, or priest, to name a few. Talk to Jame about making up some more. And finally, your epithet, how your ruined looks. And for dice rolls, those are also very simple as well. When performing something risky, you need to roll a 1d6, and you roll extra 1d6s for any of these that are true. You're being helped, they're using a suitable equipment for the task, they have a craft or epithet that relates to this task, and they have at least one other advantage based upon the scenario and/or background. Finally, there's a simple magic mechanic as well. You roll a 1d8, and you roll a 1d4 if the character is being disadvantaged or being attacked or being opposed. Overall, this is a wonderful idea for a one-shot where you have PCs who didn't survive the game. You can play as these heroes who are ruined and forgotten. This is a great way to build game lore and explore characters that died too soon in your campaign, and maybe even have some heart-wrenching moments when facing your character's next death, being forgotten. What if though, instead of being ruined, you wanted something more action-packed? Well, Boarding Action is the game for you. The game's premise is you are playing desperate combat in the void of space. You play as marines or soldiers, scraping against other fiends of space. And combat is the highlight of this game. The game creator is known as Toast Mortem. Great name, by the way. And the game inspiration is focused very much on combat, sci-fi, so I really thought of Halo when I was looking at this game. Next, what are the game mechanics? You play as an armsman. An armsman creation is based upon this. You roll a 1d6 for each of these skills, and on a 6 you mark a +1, and on a 1 you mark a -1, otherwise anything in between is marked as 0. And as shown here, there are several combat related skills, from melee, muscle, to medicine and leadership. As for HP, you roll a 1d6 for your starting HP. And for skills, it's similar to Powered by the Apocalypse engine. On a +5 you succeed at your action, on a 2 to 4 there's a complication/mixed result, and on a 1 it's a failure. This focus on combat allows for the game to shine where it is best at. So, there's moves such as making shooting attacks, fighting in melee combat, inflicting damage, and several other maneuvers you can do and you can create with your fellow GM. This game really does pull from, say, a first-person shooter perspective, so if you're looking for a game that's high, zany action, and a game to really capture that thrill-seeking adventure you're looking for in space, then this will be a great time for you. However, fighting for your life does not need to be in space. Maybe you are the sole survivor in a horror RPG. Well, final sole survivor, see what I did there? Is the horror-chilling time you will love. The game premise is a horror-themed co-op TTRPG where you play as characters in a slasher film, and the game creator is Prof. The game inspiration is from slasher movies where death is high, it's bloody, and you all play equally obnoxious teens and or adults. Game mechanics. It's a 2d6 solution similar to Powered by the Apocalypse games. When you do something risky, roll a 2d6 and subtract 2 from the results if the monster is in the area. Otherwise, add +1 to each of the conditions as followed. You have a relevant quality, at least one relevant skill, or use a relevant item. And, speaking of which, what are characters made up of? They're made up of 1 quality, an attribute that defines their character, example, agile or underdog, 2 health, 3 skills, and 4 items. And these games can be played for long-term or one-shots with advancement rules as well on the second page. Which, well, technically doesn't make it a one-page RPG, but those rules are entirely optional. Plus, the cool thing is, this game even has some advice for GMs on that extra page. So, if you're really looking to create a whole campaign off of this one game, then I definitely recommend that. Maybe that game's a little bit dark. So, let's play something a little bit more tongue-in-cheek. Ever wanted to play a game that addresses AI, art, and the exploitive industry that is the entertainment industry? Well, Hollywood Scabs is the game for you. As it states on its page, during the 2023 writer and actor strike, film and TV studios create AI to write the ultimate crossover TV show. You play as those AI. So, you play an iconic character from a different media thrust into this bizarre AI concoction. Game creator is Hayden Berger, and the game inspiration is clearly a silly game based off Laser and Feelings, Roll for Shoes, and Good Society. What are the game mechanics? Choose a role and a value 1 through 6 on the skills Brainy/Brawn and Cool, so that's cute. Next, you also select a motivation card and write that in as well. As for moves, you select Brains, Brawn, Cool, or Cute, then roll a 1d6 against their number on the scale. Another 1d6 is added if a player gets a catchphrase or if the current tone matches that action. 0 dice succeed equal failure, 1 dice allows 1d6 later on, 2 dice equal great success and completes a motivation, and 3 dice can change the tone and you get a catchphrase. So if you're looking for a game that has witty commentary, you like discussing issues about exploitive nature in the entertainment industry, and you want something that's tongue-in-cheek, then Hollywood Scabs, A Writer's Strike Fever Dream is the perfect one-page RPG for you. You ever worked a soulless job, one that underpays you, overworks you, and or drains every bit of energy from you? Or maybe you're in a school and it feels pointless. Well, in this game is the best cathartic experience needed to deal with the Sunday blues. F Capitalism. Created by C.R. Ledge, in this game, the modern labor movement does not exist, and you work 96-hour shifts in a mega corporation. In this capitalistic hellhole, You are, maybe yet again, required to work a double shift. So if you and your coworkers, you must band together and escape the managers who require you to work and will send you back to your office. What are the game mechanics? First, there's the pod, which is where all of the players first reside. Next is the notice rating, which is 1 through 5. The notice rating goes down when you succeed and goes up when you fail. When it is 5, you're sent back to your desk. And when one person triggers 5, all ratings for every individual player goes up by 1. So, actions. All actions require a roll to determine if you succeed. DC ranges from 1 through 4. Roll over and you get an additional advantage applied for each success over the requirement. And the dice pool is made up of D6s equal to your notice rating, with an initial die for each relevant keyword that's in your character's backstory. Also, there is the helping feature. You get an additional die for if someone from your pod is helping you. And note that the notice rating will change whether you win or lose for that person as well. So, this game is for anyone who's ever felt trapped at their job, or for people who are struggling with their menial day jobs, especially in non-union jobs. If you want to go play hero in your local office, then definitely go play F Capitalism. What happened instead of being trapped by the awful reality that is corporatism in capitalism, and instead you're surrounded by a killer in a mansion? Well, final Sole Survivor might capture the group effort of surviving against a slasher villain. One Page Left is the solo RPG version of that. One Page Left is made by M. Kieran, and the game is a solo role-playing game about surviving a horror movie. Your character will be chased by a killer of your own creation, and over the course of this game, you will journal your experience on a single sheet of paper. If you run out of space or luck, your story will come to a tragic end. The goal is to create a journal entry similar to what you might find as part of a survival horror video game, and all you will need for this game is a 1d6, a black pen, a red pen, a marker, and a single sheet of paper. And I need to really mention that this game is a balance of space, artistic creativity, and your luck as you hopefully escape from the killer that you created. You develop a character that has their own personal traumas and has some ties to the villain. This character is journaling every single incident, from their first encounters with the killer to the final moments, whether they end up in prison, insane, down below with some rats, or they starve to death. The chance of survival in this game might not happen to your character, but it's not about their survival, it's about their journey, and that unique experience of writing out every single experience, the emotional stakes with different colored pens, is impactful and scary. The idea that the only thing keeping you alive is what's in front of you is more terrifying than any amount of HP you can roll up. And if you don't think that's horrifying and both really exciting, then I highly recommend you check out One Page Left. And there were a lot of honorable mentions: A Novel Idea, 8-Room Dungeon, The Eldritch Hack, Dave's Tiny Galaxies, AB6, In the Group Chat, and Goblin Problems, to name several. And as I said before, I can't cover every single RPG. But if you did have an RPG you want me to check out or read through, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. And if you're looking to up your GM skills, then check out this video over here on GM tools, tips, and tricks. And as always, I'm your average everyday queer host, Blerdydisposition. Be all. Have an awesome day. Ciao.